5 years at St Mary's, just a few more months until those so important exams. And the key question now is how to revise. Well, the first thing I'm here to say is revision is supposed to be fun. Revision is hard work. So, you found your quiet place, you sat down, ready to revise. On your timetable, it says geography. The thing is, just sat there reading a book isn't going to work. The most important thing to realise about revision is learning, and that the brain must be active. Active learning, active revision. Like I've just said, the brain must be processing some information, organising information, transforming information. One particular method is the simple mind map. I'm there, ready to start my revision. I've got my chemistry book in front of me. I'm not just going to read it because my brain's got to process that information. So I'm going to create a mind map. I'm going to start off by using just a simple single bubble. The topic I'm revising today is bonding. I start to think, what are the major topics involved in bonding? So, I've got my ionic bonding. I've got my covalent bonding. I've also got my metallic bonding. I may also want to add other things to this. Structures, properties. Why do atoms bond with each other? Once I've thought about the areas that are involved within this topic, I'm going to start to get down some of the key knowledge that I'm going to need to be able to reproduce in the exam. So in terms of ionic bonding, one of the things that I'm learning is that it must involve a metal and a non-metal. Ionic bonding is about the transfer of electrons. Starting to build up some areas of my mind map, starting to think about what I need to know. One useful way of transforming the information is to start to put some diagrams together. So for metallic bonding, I'll start to construct a diagram which I may need to know for the exam, but helps me have a better understanding about how metal ions bond together. So I've started to organise some more of the information that I've been learning about. What I can do now is start to link up some of these different parts. So I've been learning about simple molecules, and I've got an example here. Giant molecules, and I've got diamond, graphite, quartz. I can also realise there's a link between structure and properties and make this clear on my mind map. Know that giant molecular structures have high melting point and are hard. I can also then start to make links across to ionic bonding and look at the lattices and how these all connect together. I'm coming to the end of making my mind map. Okay, every mind map's different, and in the end, it's not the end process that's important, but the actual process of you thinking through and starting to make these links. So, one final one. Got one of my properties down, that metals are malleable. I can then explain on the link why this is, talking about how the atoms are able to move around. Once you've got a good knowledge and understanding of the content you need to cover, it's then more hard work. You've got to test yourself. Ionic bonding. Metal, non-metal. Transfer of electrons. Ionic lattice. Soluble in water. Won't conduct electricity. Not too bad. In the booklet there are a few more graphic organisers there to help you organise information, like these one we have here. Compare information. Sequence information. Or use the information to find cause. But the most important thing, revision is a learning process, and let's make sure that when we're revising, the brain is active, the brain is involved. Transforming, organising information, fantastic ways to go about it. Good luck in the summer, guys.